What's up, gang?
Ah, right.
We're having trouble.
What's happening, people?
We are live.
Huge thanks immediately to Root Fire just for not only for putting our thing out there and putting our Sugar Shack and making that all very public and everything, but also just for everything they've been doing lately, and all the content's been amazing. So keep up with Root Fire if you haven't already. They're doing some awesome stuff in these times.
Yeah. Did you guys all watch the Sugar Shack premiere?
It was cool.
I hope you did.
Very fun stuff for sure.
All right. Nice.
So yeah, if you have any questions, Sugar Shack related or otherwise, please send them over. We'll answer some questions, some hard-hitting questions.
Let's kick this off with a ditty.
Yeah, let's do a
Play
jingle.
a jingle.
Do a jingle.
Which one?
Let's do keep waiting.
Keep waiting?
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you guys waiting there for a minute.
This is from our album Gold Fever.
1, 2, 1, 2.
I would not keep waiting. I would not keep waiting. No. I would not keep waiting. I would not keep waiting. 'Cause you're clouding my vision with no realism. Drowning, confused mind. Natural rhythm. Take what you get from all of these words, but remember, there's more. I would not keep waiting. No, I would not keep waiting too long. Too long. I would not keep waiting. No, I would not keep waiting too long. But people say good things come from waiting. Good things come from waiting. It doesn't work that way. Say what you want now, but I would not keep waiting too long. Too long. I would not keep waiting. No, I would not keep waiting too long. Take what you get from all of these words, but remember, there's more. Now, I would not keep saying what you want, but I would not keep waiting too long. Too long. I would not keep waiting. I would not keep waiting. Move on. I would not keep waiting. I would not keep waiting. Too long. I would not keep waiting. No, I would not keep waiting. Shee-hoo!
Yeah, that's always
Alright.
a fun one.
That woke me up a lot, actually.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Top of the morning.
Thanks for joining, everybody. I see all you guys. Any good questions on there on the YouTubes? Keep track of the YouTubes. Shout out Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Love you, buddy.
lots of big ups out there, so that's always good. Feeling the love from everybody. If you guys got requests, a shot. We got the
For
three,
sure.
We got the 3-piece band going tonight.
Definitely hanging loose, you know.
Hanging loose is the word.
Cold aqua.
Cold Aguas, clean canteens.
Yeah, we got our thermos.
Hope you guys liked the premiere of the Sugar Shack, the full sessions. That was a blast to do.
It was a close call.
It was a crazy day.
Oh yeah.
Who's gonna tell the story?
Not a good storyteller, but it was raining really hard when we got there, and the crew was outside trying to get prepared, but at the same time they were thinking it might not happen, so they had us waiting in our our van. I think we were in there for like, what do you think, probably an hour and a half maybe?
It was on and
It was
off
cutting
because
into the
we
time.
would be in there and then it would stop raining for a little while and we'd go back out and assume like, oh, this might be it, and then it would kind of start trickling again. So it was crazy. All the electronics and
It was wild.
if you guys you haven't seen the work these guys are putting in at Sugar Shack and all the cables. It's a tiny space and there's all these cables everywhere and it's so much electronic stuff out, all this electricity running through. You know, while it's raining, it's in the swamps of Florida, so there's a lot to think about for sure.
Yeah, and we had a show that night in St. Pete, which, you know, a couple hours of driving we had to jump right into as soon as we were done. So
Through a crazy downpour, still it
Yeah.
was just a typical Florida day.
Well,
We were playing a bunch of shows with the Free Coasters,
right.
and luckily they backlined the whole show, so we didn't have to set up much gear. We showed up pretty late, still made the show on time.
Yeah, luckily it cleared up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a blast.
We did Sugar Shack. We were on tour actually when we did Sugar Shack, and we had just recorded Gold Fever about 2 weeks before we got to Sugar Shack. We were there for a week in Boston doing the album, and then we finished the rest of the tour. So yeah, those songs were still very fresh when we got to Sugar Shack. And,
Yeah, it was like new versions. A lot of the songs we had readapted for Gold Fever right before we did Sugar Shack, so we weren't even used to like these new versions. And like Daydream, for example, we had just kind of reworked the whole thing. So it
Total
was,
transformation.
and then we're also going acoustic, and it was just a wild. It was really fun. And actually, we have a question where Tim Egan is asking, were there any Sugar Shack outtakes, and if so, will they ever be released? I think we released all the songs we did. Right?
Yeah, we did 5 tracks, and actually we were happy with all of them. So we
Yeah.
just kind of let them get released.
they're all out there.
but
we definitely want to come back, and we want if anyone has recommendations for songs for us to do,
Yeah,
we could use them because it's always tough to pick.
definitely. Let us know if we do it again. Let us know what you'd like to
Yeah.
hear on Sugar Shack, because it's
Yeah.
definitely nice to get a crowd perspective.
Yeah, we're definitely big on outside perspective because, you know, being the ones making the music, it's definitely tough to kind of like step outside and, you know, get a good.
Yeah, we're so zoomed in on it. It's also
Yeah.
hard to tell what the favorites would be when we all came up with parts of them. You know, it's hard to be objective. So
Yeah.
subjective, whatever the word is. Juan Love wants to know what are some of our favorite tours.
Oh, well, Juan, of course.
Yeah, not only because Juan's asking,
Yeah.
but Wheeling
You already know.
Expand Your Sense of Motion, the best tour. That was,
It's great.
wow, probably our longest tour as well.
Yeah.
What was that, 2018 or 17? Yeah.
It was 2018.
Oh, man, that was a
Spring.
blast.
Yeah, it was full national pretty
Yep.
much. It was like
Whole
5 weeks or
country.
so.
Wow, that was epic.
Yeah, that was a good one. Another good one was the Rise Roots. It was short, but it was a sick tour with the Rise Roots. We also did a very short Terra tour. It was like
That was
2
great,
weeks
too.
of just like bang out, like sold out shows. It was really nice.
Yeah, they crushed.
The first tour we ever did with a band was Synergy out of San Diego. That was the first time we ever toured with a band. Up until then, we had always just booked tours ourselves and just played any place
Those guys
without
were
really opening bands, basically. But yeah, we could probably play another tune.
Should we do one of the Sugar Shack tunes? Like one of those songs, or does that not make sense because they just listened
I
to
saw some Spend the Day requests.
All right.
I don't know if you guys want to hear a
Yeah.
different
Do a little bit of that.
Definitely, yeah.
version.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. So the
My dude.
sick. He just told us that's taken. I got it.
Ah, shit.
Alright. Anyway.
spend the day, yeah. Spend the day, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, feeling alone like never before. No, been waiting for a long time, yeah, and I cannot ignore it. No, I'm sick of the rain, let it shine like before. No, I've never been sure, but I've never been so sure. Baby, come and relieve me. I wanna see you today. Maybe come for the evening. Tomorrow we can spend the day. Yeah. Baby, come and relieve me. I wanna see you today. No. Baby, come for the evening. Tomorrow we can spend the day. Spend the day, yeah. Spend the day, yeah. Ooh. I'm sick of the rain, let it shine like before. No, I've never been sure, but I've never been so sure. La 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 da da, yeah. La 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 da, yeah yeah. Ooh, like never before. No, been waiting for a long time, yeah, and I cannot ignore it. No, I'm sick of the rain, let it shine like before. I've never been sure, I've never been so sure. Baby, come and relieve me. I wanna see you today. Maybe come for the evening. Tomorrow we can spend the day. Yeah. Baby, come and relieve me. Yeah. I wanna see you today. Baby, come for the evening. Tomorrow we can spend the day. Spend the day. Yeah. Spend the day. Yeah. Ooh. Now we should spend that day, yeah. Spend the day, yeah. Ooh. Yes.
Oh man, thank you all for joining us. So yeah, let us know what you want to hear if you got any songs in mind. Keep us posted. Let us know if it sounds alright too. If anything needs to be louder. But I think we're doing alright.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, all these live streams been keeping everybody pretty busy, luckily. Watching a lot of cool stuff. Big up Devin, the Expanders, Agrolites, and all those guys. Giant Panda went live a couple times.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's nonstop. I gotta love it. It's like they're really Free Fire is really I can't go for that. And better with words.
Could be done with words.
Yeah.
I got it better with words too.
And back in the dead as well. So
Yeah. Same.
I
That's a
take
few
you
tunes
too.
we could do. Yeah.
Oh, keep waiting, but we just did.
Yeah, just
We
rewind
just
it
did
later. Rewind it later. Yeah.
And Juan Love said that.
Oh, you must have missed it.
Missed it, buddy. You're in the
But
bathroom. huh?
it's
It'll be there. After it's live, it's gonna be.
What's up, RW Engineering?
what was the one? So I can't go for that. What back from?
I can't go
Yeah.
for that.
Let's do I Can Go For That and then
Yeah.
down with words. Yeah. Right? We got
Yeah.
that. I mean, hey, we'll give it a shot. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I played the song in a long time.
I know. Okay.
If we screw up, it's your fault.
Oh, what's the solo?
You'll get it. Just
Yes.
all right. Let's just calibrate into it pretty much.
Is you ready, willing, overtime? Where does it stop? Where do you tell me to run? You got the body, now you want my soul. Oh, think I'm saying, yeah. I want me to, yeah. I want me to. I can't go for that. No, can you? I can't go for that. No, can you? I can't go for that. No, can you? I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. I can't go for being twice as nice. I can't go for just repeating the same old line. You use the body, now you want my soul. Ooh, you forget about it, I say no more. I'd do anything that you want me to, yeah. I do almost anything that you want me to, but I can't go for that, no, can you? I can't go for that, no, can you? I can't go for that, no, can you? No, I can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that, yeah. I'll do anything that you want me to, yeah. I do almost anything that you want me to, yeah. I can't go for that, no, can you? No, I can't go for that, no, can you? I can't go for that, no, can you? No, I can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that,
That was fun. That was
Cool.
tough. That was tough.
I was a little panicked today.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
song. I haven't played that thing in a long time.
That got me sweating.
Definitely botched the solo a little bit.
Oh, we all botched something.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you suddenly forget what you're supposed to do until it's time for it to happen.
Yeah.
And it just comes out. It comes
Something saxy for sure. All notes always gonna be a little saxy.
One Love said he legit sat here and sang the whole jam.
Oh no way!
Miss you, buddy.
Big up one.
Oh, he was talking about Keep Waiting. He said he sat there and sang the whole jam and then still said it as a request.
nice. I'll take that as a good thing.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Good stuff. You guys are awesome, man.
Nice.
So back from that was requested too.
So
Back from, yeah, Better With as well.
A lot of that was
Better
awesome.
With. So
Thank you all for thinking it's awesome.
Yeah, man.
We think you're awesome as well.
We also think All Notes is pretty awesome.
Oh man, Hollow Notes.
Yeah. Gosh, they're great.
Someday
Yes.
we're gonna do what we've been calling Hollow Notes Ween, and someday, I don't know when, but we want to do a Halloween show of Hollow Notes tunes where we call it Hollow Notes Ween. So
Yeah. Soon
someday,
All Notes Ween.
maybe some Ween covers as well. You might have to at that point.
Yeah, we're in San Diego, by the way. We are in SoCal, San Diego. Home. New home.
Yeah, we can do better with
Better with Kurtz.
Kurtz.
Version.
Tried to speak, but I wish I was better with words. Better with words. The things that I'm thinking, you get to them first. Get to them first. I tried to keep my composure. Feel me losing it over and over. Trying to speak, but I wish I was better with words. Better with words. Better with words. Every second of worry is but now it's all okay. Okay. So I'm inviting you over, so I don't have to keep my composure, and I can speak without thinking and get to you first. Gotta get to you first. Hey, I tried to keep my composure, feel me losing it over and over. Try to speak, but I wish I was better with words. Better with words. Better with words. Na 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 na. Every second of worry, yeah, was blown away, blown away. And to think I was so unsure now, but now it's all okay. Ooh, yeah. So I'm inviting you over, so I don't have to keep my composure. I can speak without thinking and get to you first. Gonna get to you first. I know it. I tried to keep my composure, losing it over and over. Tried to speak, but I wish I was better.
Everyone out there still working through this shite.
Yes. See a lot of positive attitudes out there.
A
It's
lot of
good.
love.
It's
A lot of
good.
love in the air, so that's cool. Better with herbs. There you go, Juan. That's a good one. That's a good wish. You're right, actually.
He is right.
Let me finish there. couple wackaroonies.
We got Peter Tosh and Jason Mraz requests.
I'm you.
I don't think besides Andrew might know.
I'm yours, of course.
Sing them.
Speaking of Jason Mraz, I mean, hey, he's got some new reggae out with Cheekies playing bass. Cheekies from the Expanders.
Roger
Asher.
Hard-hitting roots band with Jason Mraz's new project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
sounds
really
great
is.
too.
Legit.
Definitely worth checking out.
really
They
is.
have a couple singles out right now.
I think Jason's actually watching right now. Big up, Jason.
Jason, we love you, brother.
I'm yours, brother.
Yeah, man. But we used to cover some Peter Tosh. I
Yeah.
don't know if we. Yeah, I don't think I can.
Oh yeah.
It's been so long.
Pick myself
I'll
up.
pick myself up.
They
Yeah.
probably did other stuff.
Yeah, over the years.
Actually, maybe not. Love to.
Big ups to everyone that's donating. That means a lot. And if you have it in you and you feel like donating as well, that it definitely helps. It's such a weird time. Obviously, it goes without saying, but we really appreciate it to those who have. Thank you guys.
For sure.
But we could do back from. That was also a request.
Yeah, sounds good.
We did play Hall & Oates in Berkeley. Correct.
Did we? Oh, damn.
What did we play? Maneater probably? Or
Yeah.
that one?
I think it was Maneater.
Can you guys play Terra Formata? That's a cool one too. Amazon delivery driver in the house. Big up.
Big up.
Turn your smartphone. Turn it. Yeah, good.
Yeah, on Instagram, the phone is gonna be crooked, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, if you flip it
Yeah.
sideways, it'll look pretty decent though.
Well, maybe it won't. I don't even know.
No, it will.
Because
Oh,
we
yeah,
can get,
sideways,
I've
guys.
been watching.
can't get all of us in otherwise, so we just want
You're breaking dimensions here.
breaking the fourth wall. So
Yeah.
I think we got enough requests to
All wall, big up.
all wall. How about? I like the sound of Terra because the harmonies are
Terra's a cool tune.
harmony based.
That's a cool song.
And like we said, if you guys got any questions, it is a Q&A, so just throw us some Q's. We'll toss you some A's.
I have a question. Where'd you guys come up with the name Terra Formata?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, there's a venue called Terra Formata. It's in Stewart, Florida. I'm sorry, and it's a great venue. It's like a tiki lounge type place. It's really nice, and we played there, and that was an untitled song, and we basically asked the crowd, "What should this be called?" And someone yelled out Terra Formata because that's the name of the venue, and we just said, "Yeah,
We're
that
like,
sounds
we're
good."
like, that sounds cool. What does it mean?
It's got a cool, yeah. It's got
And
a
they
cool
told us what it meant. I don't remember, but it was cool.
From what I understand, obviously Terra is earth and Formata is a musical term meaning to like hold out a note. So I think what they're going for is sustained earth. If I can translate properly, Terra Formata with that. I don't know. The owners of Terra Formata should speak up on
Yeah,
that.
speak up.
That's my closest translation.
Pretty good, bud.
Cools. Big up Dimitri again. Big up Kyle too, our drummer.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim Egan said acoustic versus electric. I mean, I think electric just allows us to be more of ourselves.
Oh
but,
yeah,
acoustic's fun because it's a challenge and it's a different thing. It's like
different approach.
Very, like, easy. You know, you just grab your guitar and kind of get the other and play. It's nice and casual.
no electricity or less electricity. When you're live, there's always electricity.
There's always the challenge of kind of trying to fill out that space, you know, that's missing.
I have to say my favorite recording of old school roots acoustic is Jimmy Cliff is I like Jimmy Cliff a lot. He's not even on the top of my list, but I found this awesome recording of Jimmy Cliff basically playing this song called Wanted Man acoustic, and it definitely opened my eyes. I hadn't heard that side of Jimmy Cliff, and it's also a really great acoustic. Definitely made me a fan for sure. Check that out. So yeah, I would say they both have their advantages, but electric is probably more us. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. Feels more comfortable and full sound, banging.
Nice energy.
Yeah.
Was it?
Terra Formata, I believe it was.
drinking in my own head. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna let this pass me by. No. Knowing that a good life could be our reward for the work we have done. We all just wanna move toward the goal. Hey, we got it in our sight. People gonna think there's something wrong when there's nothing wrong. Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna hurt sometimes, sometimes, sometimes. Nah, 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 nah. We all just wanna move toward the goal. Hey, we got it in our sight. People didn't think there's something wrong when there's nothing wrong. Something's gonna come out. It's gonna hurt sometimes, sometimes, sometimes. Nah, 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 nah. It's gonna hurt sometimes, sometimes, sometimes. Nah, 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 nah. Ooh, yeah. It's gonna hurt sometimes, sometimes, sometimes. Nah, 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 nah. Yes.
Big up. Big up. There's some funny requests out there, guys. Tall and grown,
Yeah,
cross pollination.
Can we do
Old
this
school
all?
stuff.
Oh my gosh.
No.
I mean, maybe for a second. I'll definitely look at the lyrics, but it's
That's a tough one for sure.
a cool band, just Capistrano, is that what they're called?
Capistrano Dub, I think.
Capistrano, I believe, from Texas, I think. They just did a pretty cool cover of Cross Pollination.
Yeah.
So definitely ask them to play the song for you because they would kill it. We haven't played that song in a long time. They'd sound a lot better than us, honestly.
Great.
Yeah, big up. Big up all the Texas homies. We got a lot of friends in Texas. A lot of good bands. A lot of homies. Saltwater Slide, In Disguise. A lot of fans.
And what are y'all smoking? Sorry.
My favorite strain that I've had in the past few years was Meat Breath.
Yeah, that.
I smoked it for like a month and it was crazy. And then it never came around again. All those breaths are really good strains. A lot of good breath. Jelly Breath is another one. There's a grower in northern San Diego that makes them fire. Jelly Breath, Unicorn Poop, and GMO. Those are some good strains right there. GMO's been killing it the past few years. Yeah, big up GMO. The weed, not the government stuff. Government chemical or whatever.
Andy asked, what are we smoking
I just smoked some High School Sweetheart. That was what the joint that we smoked. It was High School Sweetheart. Big up.
It's a great name.
Look up the effects online and you'll see like what we're feeling.
It's a great cross.
Leafly the strength
Nice
to know where
stuff.
we're at right now mentally.
Oh, man.
Leafly.
Someone said 1 and 5. We got Minute Longer. We got Sincerity.
Oh yeah, minute longer.
Yeah.
Do we remember playing in Sarasota last year in late August? It was homie's
Oh
birthday.
yeah, of course. That was a great time.
Couple of
Gilligan's Island Bar?
Gilligan's.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah.
oh, the power went out at that show,
Yeah,
right?
that
During
was
Hall and
awesome.
Oates,
That was awesome.
right?
That was
Cali
so
Beach Bum, you hearing me, brother?
Dude.
Yeah, we remember, man. We played a song called Man Eater by Hall and Oates, and the power of the venue got shut down like halfway through the song. And then when the power got back on, we jammed. We got right back into where we were, and then started ripping a solo. Power went out again.
God, everyone to sing with us. Everyone to
It
sing
actually,
along.
It was cool.
It made the show better
Yeah,
in a weird way.
yeah, it was
Everyone
fun.
was on our side. And
It was the last
Everyone was
song.
keeping the beat and singing along when the power was out.
Yeah,
It was cool.
It was a fun moment.
It was the final tune, so it worked out perfect.
But the ending of the song was great. We didn't get to play that. But next time.
Yeah.
We'll play the ending next time we come through.
Yeah.
Extra time. A couple people said Dock of the Bay, so that we'll have to work on that for next time.
I mean,
Dock of the
there's,
Deadwood.
Dock
Oh,
of the
Dock
Bay.
of the Bay.
there's a lot of great Otis Redding songs.
Yeah, right?
Like,
Pain in My
Otis.
Heart is one of my favorites.
Otis. Big up Otis. Sam
love
Cook.
this
Got
song.
Otis guy. He's great. He was great. Still is great. But he's passed, unfortunately.
Oh,
So what should we do here? We got Guilty now. We got Minute Longer. What if I?
Like, probably a minute longer. We didn't play that before, so
Yeah.
ready.
Prepared.
Cool.
oh, did somebody request that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ramona main stage. That was a cool show.
That was
a fun show.
Cheekies from
Cheekies.
Expendables.
On
Saturday
PBS.
Days. That was a lot of fun. That was a weekend of shows.
Rise Roots the night before, I think. Pretty sure Rise Roots and OC, and then
Okay.
Ramona.
It's a fun 2 nights right there, that's for sure.
Foolish Man. Yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah, that
Gregory. Thank you.
we'll have to
So let's do
Bring
Minute
back that
Longer
one.
for
Haven't played that one in a while.
collected culture. Minute Longer for those
Oh,
guys.
for Davey G?
I should have worn my shirt. I was gonna, but I went with the
Big up Dave G. Actually, we pretty much linked with Dave G on the Terra tour.
Absolutely.
That was our first tour featuring David G.
That is true.
Alright, big up. Minute longer.
1, 2.
Oh, what was that? Wait, we should play whatever you were playing. Let's
It
find
was
out
it
what
would
that
be
was.
better, but there we go. That's more.
1, 2, 3, oh.
I couldn't wait a minute longer. You know the night rain was falling hard. I'll never forget that time. Get that hey. I still feel it standing in the rain. Feeling is alright. Oh. So I didn't wait a minute longer to seize the night when the rain was falling hard. So was I noticed even your name rang a bell. A melody, a melody, and everything I was singing to a song for you. I'm feeling us standing in the rain now. Hoping it never dry. The feeling is alright. The feeling is only melody, and everything I ever knew was singing to a song for you. Da, 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 da.
No longer, guys. Off Gold Fever.
No longers.
I hope you guys like Gold Fever, man. We're all pretty stoked on it.
That was a lot of fun to record. And very meaningful for us because, you know, every progression counts. Every,
Every step.
every, you know,
I think we
year
got
of
to,
additive experience does a lot to
Yeah.
music, I think.
got to really like do something. I feel like that was authentic too. We spent some time making it sound like more us than we were even at that point. And now we grew into it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
catching up on what, what we managed to capture there.
And a lot of those songs weren't fully developed like 100% too. And we toured what, like 2 or 3 weeks before the studio?
I think so.
Yeah.
We were on tour, so we had like pretty much been playing every day for a month before we were even in the studio, which helped, I think.
Of course.
We were all pretty prepped and warmed up, basically.
Yeah, just rehearsing a lot in general. We all lived together.
Yeah.
So we were practicing a few times a week.
Big up,
Just
Dimitri.
all
I
night.
see you, buddy. Much love. Yeah. Melodica people. People want the melodica.
We'll get some melodic next.
Actually,
Yeah, next time,
I
man.
have to grab that for sure.
Next time we'll do a melodica. We're trying to keep it a little different each time we do this live stuff.
Yes.
So it's not like the same thing over and over again, basically.
Fresh for you guys.
Switch up the lineup. Next
Between
week
the
it'll just be
shaders.
Kyle and Dimitri.
Just
somehow.
Just drum and bass live.
Kyle's gonna sing
Zoom
lead.
session.
They're gonna do a Zoom session across country.
Tim Egan said, "Ever a show where you felt you won the crowd over with your awesomeness?" I hope that we have.
I'd like to think.
I hope we've done that
I
once.
hope we've done that, but I'm pretty sure we definitely. It felt like we did once or twice for sure.
Solid once or twice,
Yeah.
like factually, absolutely.
No, I mean, yeah, we've had some really awesome experiences on the road.
Yeah, coming home from Massachusetts is always it's always a triumphant return. It feels like
Yeah,
a lot of family.
now we got multiple homes because half of us are from different places, and it's all like our new bassist Dimitri's in Florida, and Mark Pedraza, our managers in Phoenix, and we're from Boston, but we live in San Diego, so we got all the corners kind of covered, except for the Northwest. But we got Soul Seed up there; those guys always hold it down for us. We love those dudes.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody asked, what's
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give Craig Welsh like a lot of the credit on that one. I had basic ideas for some of them, but some of the stuff was completely just we found. But also, there's a couple tracks on the album that we had an additional synth player from 10 Foot Ganja Plant, Steve D. It was What If I, right? And Guilty.
What if I guilty, keep waiting.
Keep Waiting. So those 3 songs, Guilty, Keep Waiting, What If I, have Steve D, who's sort of a secretive member of 10 Foot Ganja Plant.
Yeah.
That we've never met, but he
Always
always
video game music and stuff.
Yeah. Actually, he did synth as well on Light Flashes for
leaving? And
Leaving by Design
Cross-pollination.
and Cross Pollination. So a lot of the weird sounds, it's not just synth keyboards, it's a lot of like funny drum sounds. Even like, I think there was like a little guitar type sound. He recorded all kinds of wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a crazy musician, and
Yeah, he's awesome.
we like to use him for that.
So yeah, we got some of that is that, but any songs besides those, it just basically we'll show him what we had in mind, and he'll adapt it and make it way better.
Yeah, or he'll pull out the vintage version of that sound
Exactly.
and be like, here, use the real deal.
So that's the process. But there's a lot of like turning knobs for hours and like slowly.
Yeah, and
tweaking
we'll do
things.
multiple takes with different things, like originally for Daydream, I think we did piano first, and then we did organ, and then we decided, let's see what like a good synth would be.
Yeah, that's true. Daydream.
So
It was a melody that we came up with on piano. Like I think 3 or 4 different people helped me come up with that melody. It was like pretty much half the band.
The whole team was standing over.
Yeah.
It was surgery.
It needed surgery. So as you guys know, Daydream was a song that we've had for years. It was on Live at the Belly Up. And that version had some things that we wanted to adapt, so it wasn't bad, but we just wanted to make it better. So
Yeah, if you notice, there's a different bass line groove in the live album versus Gold Fever.
so we adapted that pretty slowly but surely. So hopefully Tim Egan, we have someone over out there.
It's our favorite way to get hyped before a show.
Oh man.
Honestly, like, we try to not get hyped. We sit backstage in peace for that 5 minutes.
No, we do practice harmonies. We
Sing a
kinda,
tune,
you know,
a cover.
get out.
Yeah.
Get out of the
We'll
way
do
of
like a
things.
Wailing Souls tune, vocal warm up.
Just to know we're locked in. That's actually a pretty nice feeling.
Yeah.
Sure. And you know, just kind of watching the band before us for sure. I think that gets me going. I like to
If
see
anything, maybe a little bit of weed, but we don't really party too hard when we're playing shows. We don't really get wasted and stuff like that before or after. Really, it's rare.
We have a lot of like intricacies. We try to change it up every tour, so we'll have little intricacies in every set that are like we need to remember. So if you start drinking too heavily before a set, you're just gonna start messing up transitions.
Yeah,
kind of sloppy. For
you want to be
sure.
as tight as a button.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh man, we got Guilty, we got Time Tough a couple times, we got Back from the Dead is one we said a while ago.
Oh yeah, we should do
Let's do
that.
Back from the Dead.
We said it a few times.
Yeah. I was gonna credit the person who suggested it.
Big up Amazon, delivering stuff as we speak.
Yeah, we got a nice little view of our parking lot here.
Yeah, there's actually a huge crowd of like our neighbors like watching us.
Hundreds
It's like 60 people standing outside the railing.
They're telling us to play, so we should probably play.
We didn't even open a window up. They can't even hear us.
It's a silent film for them. Silent films. All right. Back from the Dead. We call it Back from.
Coming back from the dead. Like the sun, we're gonna keep rising. Oh. Coming back from the dead. Yeah. As one thing fades away, another comes to play. And I will still be steady, ooh, ooh. Even if my heart stops. Ooh. Currents will be shifting above me, but I will lay unmoving. Ooh. And I will lay unmoving in the sea of violent water. Ooh. My body will be taken for granted. Energy remains, say as they say. Weapons won't cut it, fire won't burn it, water won't wet it, and wind won't wither it, no. Nothing can wither me down. Coming back from the dead. Like the sun, we're gonna keep rising. Ooh, yeah. Coming back from the dead. As one thing fades away, another comes to play. And I will still be standing. Ooh, ooh. not stop. Currents will be shifting above me, but I will lay unmoving. And I will lay unmoving in a sea of fire and water. My body will be taken, but my energy remains stay, as they say. Weapons will burn, fire won't be burning, water won't wet it, wind won't wither it, no. Nothing can wither it now.
Yes.
All right. Zach Freeman asked us, have we ever smoked
Big up, Zach.
G13?
That's the government weed, right?
They would never let that out.
Isn't that like $2,000 an eighth?
Knock on the door of Area 51.
It's grown in Area 51.
Front door that shit? That's
Pretty sure, yeah. Or like the White House or something.
somewhere.
Definitely government
Not
related.
the general public.
I don't get my weed from the feds. Big up Curve Surfboards.
Oh,
Big up, fan. One love.
So many.
Big up, Peter. Miss you, buddy.
gosh. Yeah, I really miss people.
We'll be back, guys. We're trying to tour as soon as we're allowed to.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a tough situation right now, but
we're setting up sooner than likely. Yeah, but it would be cool.
yeah.
Yeah, we got tentative plans, but we can only do our best to hope for the best at this point, like anyone else.
Putting it out there.
To be out there with the insane wave of live music that's going to happen when this is all over, it's going to be quite the scene. But
Shout out to Boston. Big up. Hometown, kinda.
Home state.
we grew up just south of Boston, so we call it Boston because it's easier. Also, we did Cold Rain and Snow. Not that was necessarily my favorite, but that was a fun one. Cold Rain and Snow by the Grateful Dead for a long time. Actually, for many years, we didn't cover more than like 3 or 4 songs. We just we didn't learn a lot of covers early on, so we had like 4, and we just kind of played those occasionally. And for some reason, that was one of them. And we always were Deadheads for sure. That just seemed like the song to do.
Yeah, that was cool.
What's another non-reggae? I mean,
La La Means I Love You is there's a reggae version of it already.
It's Lyndall Thompson Revolutionary's version of it, but it's awesome. Super heavy.
So good.
That's a fun song to
Definitely
play.
look that up. That's a great, such.
I know it's
very heavy.
on a lot of things. It's out there as La La Means I Dub You, but it's
Yeah,
under-
Boss Man's dub.
Boss Man's Dub.
The album. That's
Definitely one of my favorite dub albums of all time. Boss Man's Dub by Lyndall Thompson. It's really
Dimitri, small town called Bridgewater.
yeah. Thanks to Dimitri, yes. We're
Exactly. Dimitri's from there as well.
And if you ever get to go to the area south of Boston and have Gold Fever Pizza, just make it happen.
Yeah.
And you always gotta look into the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah, we've
You
been
know.
pushing that lately because it's really
Yeah, we're really trying to push the triangle.
Lately, for the last 11
No,
years.
for real though, check out the
Yeah.
the Bridgewater Triangle. It's just a funny thing that we grew up around. It's like it's like the Bermuda Triangle, but in Massachusetts. It's like a several
Dimensional
towns.
shift.
Yeah, there's a vortex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
there's-
weird going on, and Bridgewater's in the center of the triangle. It's called
Puckwudgies.
Bridgewater Triangle. Pugwudgies,
Bigfoot, huge snakes.
Bigfoot, huge
Crossing
snakes,
the road.
Giant
Thunderbirds,
UFOs.
Thunderbirds.
10 feet
Haunting you.
wingspan.
Haunting you.
It sounds
Haunting.
funny, but it's not
Yeah, no,
funny.
we're serious.
They're still
We're actually
after
serious.
Us.
Right.
They're still after us.
So yeah, someone said "Born to Love You." That's like another soul cover that we made
Yeah.
reggae.
Yeah.
But it's also the Heptones did it before us, obviously.
Temptations did it before
Tem-
them.
Tem-
So
Temptations.
who's left?
Who's
What's happening now?
Yeah, we do the Heptones version. That's a fun one.
We do it in a different key, a little lower, because he has such a high voice. We wanted to bring it down a little bit. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah.
Was that
I mean, we could play "Born to Love You." Someone
On the
either
subject?
answer
Yeah, that'd
the
be cool.
question. Or,
I'd be down to play that song.
yeah, "Born to Love You" is
Yeah.
fun.
Cool one.
This is, I always like playing that one actually.
Yeah.
And if we missed your question, there's definitely a chance I missed a question or two. Just throw them back in there. There's no fear in repeating yourself. I don't want to
If
be
you need
reading.
links to Bridgewater Triangle, just
Yeah.
DM the band. We'll get you started.
I'll comment right now. Bridgewater Triangle.
The Bridgewater Triangle.
Just in case, like,
Somebody wants to hear a Boston accent for the rest of the whole
We're
clip.
from Bridgewater.
we're not doing that, Ken.
Ken, chill. The fuck.
Ken.
The fuck.
Yeah.
Just trying to play.
There it is. There it is.
You got to be like half angry but half kidding, but no one's really sure if you're
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Or
That's the secret to the accent. If you just try talking with that
Yeah.
mindset, you might just
You'd be like wicked
Look at
screwed.
Very good.
You'd be screwed. Guy.
You'd be like wicked fucked. Excuse my language. I'm just messing around. We should probably play a couple songs.
We
Born
got
to Love You.
I think it's definitely safe to say we should proceed.
Yeah. Big up Giant Panda. We don't cover them, but
Oh,
maybe
Well,
someday
gosh.
we'll do a song. You know?
love them so much. Very fun.
Have you all always been bearded?
No,
Hell no.
Yeah, probably not.
it's just when I stop thinking about it for too long.
Yeah. I just shaved this, so it was accidental.
All right, Born to Love You. 1, 2, 3.
When you walk by, I breathe. Only for a while, I heard a strange rhapsody, yeah. So lovely and so strange, yeah. I knew it right away, yeah. That you were meant for me, and it wasn't hard to see. I guess I was born to love you, born to love you. I was born to love you, born to love you, born to love you. You better come on and take my hand, 'cause I don't understand this crazy feeling in my soul. You know that I would rather die than let this feeling go. Now, girl, can't you see? Yeah, that this was meant to be. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's true. Well, I guess I was just born to love you. Born to love you. Born to love you. I was born to love you. Born to love you. Born to love you. You know that I was born. Darling, I was born to love you. Give my love to no one but you. Darling, I was born to love you. Give my love to no one but you. So lovely and so strange. Yeah, I knew it right away. Yeah, and you were meant for me, and it wasn't hard to see. I guess I was born to love you. Yeah, born to love you. I was born to love you. Born to
Instagram timed out, so we're off there.
Instagram Live just popped.
Yeah, we had
Solid
What are you gonna do?
request. Solid request. Yes. GPGDS.
Yes, for the win, I believe. Is what-
For the win.
Is that right? FTW for the win?
Yeah.
That's what that is, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That's an DH though about it.
About what?
I was like, fuck the world or something.
It could be.
It could be.
No, but Giant Panda Grow Up's about fuck the world. I don't
Yeah,
think
it
that
doesn't make sense.
No, no.
For the
We
win.
know it's for
It's
the
gotta be for the win.
I'm just saying it could be, you know. All right, so
Nikki Sumner, big up, bro. Big up Polyculture.
Oh,
Colorado fan. Love you guys, man. Bud King, hell
yeah, I
yeah.
was just gonna say.
Tasty
Got some fam in the house, man.
Oh my gosh.
Big up.
Bud King is delicious.
Yes, I.
Delicious beverage.
Delicious lemonades.
The brownies, ooh, tasty, tasty, tasty. Had some of those a couple tours ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Terra.
Good times.
I see people requesting Expanders songs. I
Yeah.
definitely. I would if we knew one. We would. But I love those guys.
Yeah,
My
definitely.
favorite modern bands. Crushing it.
Crush. Absolute crush.
Crushed it.
Oh man, crushed them. Exactly. Did we play Leaving yet? No.
We haven't.
Should we?
Let's see what happens.
Ask the magical egg. Ask the egg. I request that you ask the egg.
Ask the egg. Ask the egg.
The egg is spooky.
The egg has
He
spoken.
said yes, we can do that.
All right.
Sometimes in the morning, I'll start the day in shambles. Feel like I've done something wrong. I'm looking for a sign, yeah. Listen for a warning. That maybe I done something wrong. I wonder, am I dreaming? I feel like I am far from my body. Yeah, they live in memory. They know we made. But I feel like I am leaving my body. My bed was shaking late at night. I think it went away. Ooh, I've been sleeping all alone. The things we collected, I think they went away. Ooh, and I've been sleeping all alone. Ooh, yeah. I wonder am I dreaming? I feel like I am far from my body. Yeah, yeah. Living memory. They know we made it. I feel like I am leaving my body. I wonder, am I dreaming right now? I feel like I am far from my body. Yeah, we live in memories. Oh, they know we made them. I feel like I am leaving my body.
Just enough Santana.
That was cool, right?
Not so much.
That's a match.
Oh, what do we think, boys?
Always.
That song's about how, not about it, but it's not actually specifically about one thing, but part of it is about how my bed used to shake randomly sometimes at night. I would be sleeping, my bed would just start wiggling, and
Real
it
thing.
was
Night
pretty creepy.
tremors, I believe.
It's a real thing.
I was
Bridgewater.
wide awake. I was wide awake. I would wake up because the bed would be wiggling, and then I would just lay there and I would feel it, and scream myself to life. You letting your guitar cover?
Holy shit!
And then weird shit like that happens. But yeah, so, and then sometimes you just feel like you're not in your body, so that makes sense too. Maybe that's related to the bed shaking. Who knows?
You know?
I wonder.
Yo, big up Mark
I
Pedraza,
feel
too.
like I am far from that.
Big up Mark.
Yeah,
I don't
Mark.
think we bigged you up yet, bro.
Yeah, it's
My manager,
mandatory.
Mark.
Yeah.
We should be doing it on stage at every show.
Big up Mark Pedraza. Big up Tempe, Arizona. La Fonda, Mexican eatery,
Oh, La Fonda is awesome, as well as Stassi's down in Newport Richie.
Newport
Get
Richie.
some
Florida.
takeout while you can.
Oh,
Newport
Giant
Richie,
Fan
Florida.
is in the house. Big up.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. A lot of love, man.
Seriously, love
Any
those
new
guys
cues?
intensely.
Any big questions,
Tomorrow's
guys?
Bad Seeds. What's up,
Oh,
guys?
hell yeah.
There's got to be some like
killer bands.
There's got to be some like questions you're really dying to know, but you're like afraid to ask.
You gotta be afraid to ask.
Come on, hit us with something good.
Oh,
But yeah. Oh
Live Cuts, 2011. Nice.
man. Oh yeah, polyculture in the place.
Bobby DeLong. Are you related to Tom?
Tommy Long.
Tommy DeLong?
Tom DeLong sat down next to me at a ramen place one time and bought me ramen.
It's awesome.
And it really happened. It sounds fake, but I was at a ramen place near San Diego, and I was literally sitting next to Tom DeLong, coincidentally. And he was one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and he like kept joking. I was trying to be like nice and not say too much, but he was like, he kept joking around about. He was like, "Why are you stealing my food?" He kept like joking about the food and stuff, and then bought me ramen. So that was pretty cool. He's a good guy. Paid for our dinner. Yeah, come on. I mean, I've always been a Blink fan, so I was like starstruck. It was pretty. I was panting, you know.
Yeah.
Nervous.
I would love to meet Tom DeLong. You kidding me?
One way or
Fuck.
another.
I was just trying not to be annoying.
Robert DeLong, you have a funny. You brought up a funny point when we drove to North County Swamp Jam in New York. I was telling somebody this story recently, back in 2011 or something like that. Yeah, we were driving to upstate New York to play a festival, and we accidentally hit the Canadian border, and that took a little detour.
We had some controversy.
We had some handcuffs around our wrists, and we didn't do it to each other. That's what I'm saying.
Not that day, at least.
Yeah, we accidentally hit the border. We had a little bit of weed.
Oh,
Had a little bit of weed in the car. We missed our set, basically, at this festival we were playing.
But they did give us a set the
And
next morning.
they gave us the next morning
Which
set
is,
instead.
you know,
So
huge.
we played a cold, frosty 11 a.m. New York set.
we all pretty much emptied our bank accounts to bail the several people that had to be locked up because of such weed happens. And
Yeah.
we weren't trying to go to Canada, so we weren't planning on crossing any borders. No one had a passport or anything. They ended up putting half of us away in fucking cells, and then we had to buy our way out. And then, like we said, we drove there, missed our set, got another.
They
set.
totally acted like they were gonna be cool too. We pulled up to the border and we were like, guys, we're not supposed to be in Canada. Like our GPS messed up. Can we just kind of turn around and head back another way? They're like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll get you guys turned around. Just pull over here, right up in that little area.
Get out.
Second we get over there, all the dogs coming out.
They had us turned around.
It's so stupid. Yeah. And then actually, when we all got released or whatever, they gave us back our grinders and our pipes, and they were like, "This stuff isn't illegal in Canada."
Oh, that's right.
They just took the herb or whatever. But they were like, "But I recommend throwing this out because you're gonna hit the border going back into the U.S. and they'll do this whole thing again." So we were just sitting there at the trash, it's like kissing pipes and grinders goodbye. Kind of funny. I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but like, it's cool. We might be on a list for Canada. I don't know if we'll be able to play there.
There might be a little struggle getting in, but we'll see. It's legal there now.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
which is pretty cool.
Oh, it's wild.
Whole country.
Mark Pedraza has a question. Do you ever not have weed in the car? That's a great question.
Hey!
Mark, I think you know dang well we're pretty
Hell?
about that.
What the hell?
Pretty good about that.
Pretty good about that. We're
Pretty
yeah,
good about that. Pretty good.
State to state, We're heading east. We definitely, be careful. So should we probably
Yeah, we should
try
probably
and
get to the music.
Yeah.
We're getting towards that time for sure.
We're getting towards that time, guys. We'll be live again soon, though.
absolutely, this is a lot of fun. We should
Change
do
it
another
up,
electric
too.
one. That'd be cool.
Yeah. If anyone knows a place that we can play electric, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Like
it'd be cool to play it like in a venue or something.
A venue-looking thing.
Yeah,
with
just
power.
kinda-
I don't know. Just shooting ideas.
We'll see. Definitely, we gotta get creative as this continues to be the case for all across the world. Yeah, for sure. Gotta get creative ways to entertain people, and do what we like to do.
Hey, we're open to suggestions on that too. If you guys have things you want to hear from us or things you want to, in general, just let us know what you want
Yeah.
to hear at this time. I know it's hard to, you got to keep your days occupied with something, so let us know. Let's give them like half
Should
a
we
verse
try?
of
Yeah.
Tall Girl. We might
Tall
not get
Girl.
very far into it because it's been a long time.
From 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably like 8.
7 or 6. Yeah,
It's from the album Avoid the Pier, which we recorded ourselves.
that was a self-produced situation.
And it took a couple of years. We definitely kept redoing a lot of stuff and dubbing it
Over and
harder.
All right, this one's for you, Robert. We're going to play a tiny bit of Tall Girl.
And I can't guarantee we're going to remember all of
Did you ask the egg about it?
We don't.
it. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the
think we
B
can try
section?
it.
Does
It
that
doesn't
matter?
know all the words. But, the B section. Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
This is going to be weird. We'll play a tiny bit.
All right, here it is.
What's a fill?
Da, da, choo, choo, da, da.
Triplets.
1, 2, ta ta, 2, 3, ta ta.
Darling, no, on your own. Working with the best, but still not shown. Triple, outgrown. Settle for a bit, still not home. Brand new dust cube exposed to the air. You didn't go through trouble time. You didn't go through trouble
Go there. Who's early?
Yeah, it was. We tried.
We tried. It's
We
been
tried.
so long.
That was
That was worth it, right? For you?
worth it.
Play a weed song,
weed
please.
song.
Whoa.
Oh, it's Jack Evans. Actually, we don't really have many weed songs, but if you search, we couldn't even play it because it literally has 30 parts, but There's a song called Everything that is on YouTube. You should search it.
Yeah,
the best
everything.
Everything. And yeah,
It's even got a big
SoundCloud.
weed plant on the picture, so you know it's a
Go to
weed song.
SoundCloud, way better
it's
version of it.
from what,
I'm telling you
2010?
right
Yeah,
12, yeah. Something like that.
yeah.
We don't play
Check
it
it out.
anymore, but
It's got a lot of parts.
A lot of
Sure,
sections.
A lot of parts.
A lot of cool sections.
Pretty cool.
yeah,
We tried. There was a lot of stuff.
we
It's
tried.
tricky. First part was easy, but
Would we double it?
yeah.
We doubled there.
We don't double it. We do it the way you do, the way you're supposed to. Gosh. Yes.
The band forgets their own song.
Shut up, Mark.
Wow, dude.
I
You
mean,
did it.
It was a
A decade-old song. Thank you, Tim,
Very.
for pointing that out.
Thanks.
Come on.
Thank you for pointing it out.
Please
That's
come
why
to our
we're a little
defense.
rusty on it, all right?
Our savior team.
All right, we appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the donations and the watch.
Yeah,
Watch
seriously.
this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Root Fire.
Huge thanks to Roof Fire
Big
and
up
Sugar
Bruce
Shack.
Fire, Sugar Shack. Love you guys.
Good stuff.
And
And I think we should end it with like signs so they can check it out. It's too late. Anyway, we got one more song.
Yeah, let's
What
do
should
one
we
more
do?
song.
Better with the words.
we already played
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Come on.
We could do guilty. I saw some people saying guilty.
Yes, guilty.
All right, let's do guilty.
Wait, is that your idea about Root Was
Yeah.
that?
I just saw it and I was like, I said it by accident.
Let's hope so.
You know.
Um,
Guilty.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right, let's do it.
you gonna do that? The intro, the
The
bass. Sure. All right. Whatever. A 1, 2, 1, 2.
Why should I feel guilty for falling? I haven't had a good night's sleep in many days. I slip out of reality when you are near me. Oh no, I'm in a blissful way. Thinking of you today, oh God, break my sleeplessness lately, yeah. Losing sleep for love, it's fine. Why should I feel guilty for falling? I haven't had a good night's sleep in many days. But you wake me up for love. Anytime, alright. Why should I feel guilty for falling? I haven't had a good night's sleep in many days. I slip out of reality when you are near me. Oh no, I'm in a blissful way. But you pick me up for love. Know it anytime. anytime. Yeah. Ooh, can wake me up for love. Alright.
All right, guys. Much
Thank
love
you
to
so
everybody.
much.
Yeah, seriously.
Big ups
y'all,
to
this was
everyone.
a lot of fun.
That was fun, guys.
Thanks everyone for donating. Be sure to keep watching the Rootfire TV channel. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I've been digging the Pod Clash with Devin Morrison and Roger Ries. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Non-stop.
I think that's
Big
Saturday.
Big up,
right?
Rootfire. Big up.
Saturday at 5, I think.
Rootfire.
Coming through, that's for sure.
Yeah, good stuff, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank
we're,
you
We're
all.
gonna sign
Yeah,
off.
thank you.
Much love, everybody. Stay safe out there.
Everybody be safe.
Everybody be safe.
Be safe.
The egg loves you.
The egg
Be a Eggman.